where you could make a firefighting game, and you could just do whatever you wanted to.
They should have used the Super Scope.
Yeah, they could have. I don't know why they didn't.
Hold
but
it like a fire hose.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, they're both really fun games. Like Ray, I believe the Fireman's a little better. But if you haven't played them, they're both great.
Yeah, they have the Fireman 2 is on the Japanese PlayStation Store.
There's a Fireman 2?
Yep, for PS1.
Oh my god, I didn't know that.
If you can get access to...
The graphics ruin it, though, right? On PS1?
It's a little bit similar. Yeah, I don't know.
And so Jeremy already gave us his answer for Yoshi's Island. What SNES games do you still think need to... I was going to say Yoshi's Island, that's the obvious choice, but I'm going to take one of Ray's picks for the Twisted Tales of Spike McFang. Mm-hmm. Because I don't even know who published that game.
BPS, I believe.
Okay, I don't know how it would end up on Virtual Console. It probably won't, but it would be nice to see.
Yeah, none of the Disney games will ever show up on Virtual Console, but there are some cool ones for Super Nintendo.
Yeah, like Aladdin?
Sure.
Better on Genesis, but okay on Super Nintendo.
I would disagree, but they both have their qualities.
Well,
you're going to get some angry
Oh no! Shinji
was...
Mikami made, right?
Goof
Aladdin?
Troop, yeah.
And Aladdin?
And Aladdin.
Yeah.
Jeremy's always plugging
More
Goof Troop just to get under my...
Goof Troop is the more famous one,
obviously. It's the thinking man's Disney game.
Yeah. Well, the Magical Quest games from Capcom as well, they were ported to GBA at least, so I like those if you wanted to. Not Virtual Console, but some. Anybody else? Or
for Virtual Console, I mean, everything we've mentioned should be on Virtual Console.
Definitely.
And 1 week, too. It's just like, it's crazy how little of the greatest Super Nintendo games, though Tetris and Dr. Mario. I mean, come on.
I maintain that, Virtual Console is not quite as bad as it could be, because there are like 70-some Super NES games on there right now, and most of them are pretty good. And it's like 70, it was like the most Super NES games I had at the time, cartridge-wise. But I think...
There should be 500.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. There should be.
I think we're like a couple away from like completing the Hudson US releases, so I think like Super Adventure Island 2
because Hudson
should
doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah, they should. No, they do, but not in a way we would like.
Did they have Adventure Island 1 and 2 on there?
No, not 2.
Okay.
And that's why I'm saying is that they should at least have 2 on there soon.
That one got a little wacky, right?
Right, yeah, that was kind of like an action RPG.
Sort of. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm not Joe and Mac. It was Adventure Island.
Ah, yes. And shoot, I guess I had an idea for another one that I already didn't mention, but yeah. Run Saber. I think I even mentioned that before in the Retronauts way back that should have been on Virtual Console.
So Nintendo, get on the ball. Yeah.
I would like to see the sequel to Wrecking Crew that only came out in Japan with Virtual Console.
Wrecking Crew 98, right?
Yeah.
98?
Yeah. It's kind of difficult. That was a hard one to wrap my brain around sometimes.
Yeah.
Because it's a puzzle game, basically. It's not like the original. But,
yeah.
It's a good one.
Does it have Mario in it?
Yeah.
Weird.
Stars Mario,
they all do.
right?
Yeah.
Not the Mario with the purple shorts or whatever. So the weird version of Mario.
It was still Mario, but yeah, no.
Yeah, he just changed his clothes.
For once.
Yeah. Kind of stinky. So any final thoughts on Super Nintendo? I'm going to say I love Super Nintendo, and I
think IGN named it the #1 console of all time.
I agree with IGN.
Sure.
Sound decision, boys.
Out of 25, and boy, those first 5 were they were rough.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's
hard to think of 25 good consoles.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Maybe for me, the PlayStation 1 would tie just because, I don't know, I think I started getting money at the same time as the PlayStation 1 came out, so I was able to sample a lot more of the games. And there was a lot of, the library seemed to be the PS1.
And again, you had a lot of carryover of genres and franchises that people loved on Super Nintendo.
Right.
As you were saying earlier, though, just going back and playing those games, much more playable than anything before it. Especially, I mean, I love the NES. That's my system. I love it.
Yeah.
But
it didn't have enough colors.
I can't sit down with a bunch of people and show people, like, this is a really great game. You just have to play it for a couple hours to figure it out. Super Nintendo is usually not like that. It's pretty from the start. Easily accessible. Good controllers. We didn't talk about that much, but good controllers.
Oh, my favorite controller, absolutely. Everybody goes to like a Saturn controller is the best thing, but no.
I remember thinking the L and R buttons were like so like unusable. Like, how will I ever wrap my brain about?
You can look forward like 2 feet in Mario World.
Yeah, they barely used them in the beginning, but then later on they used them for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. We should have mentioned that the controller sort of dictated how all controllers were to be made after that point.
It was a good one.
Pretty much, yeah. It was a good indicator that you should always make your console gray and not black or purple. Yeah. At least for Nintendo's case. Because, PlayStation was gray.
Built towards their favor, too. Because how do you play a three button fighting game? I mean, that was brutal.
You hit the start button to switch between punches and kicks.
My God.
Oh,
what
I
were they
loved
thinking?
the cottage industry of 6-button controllers for like the Genesis and the TurboGrafx.
Those were the
And Saturn, right? There was a.
well, it was standard
Was it
6-button,
standard?
but I mean,
Okay.
yeah,
those were the salad days of Mad Cats.
yep, and innovation and ASCII-ware. Oh, I would say ASCII-ware did make the ASCII pad for Super Nintendo.
I had
which
that. That was
really good.
badass.
Yeah,
It had
still is.
all the colors of the Super Famicom pad.
Yeah,
on it,
exactly.
too.
Why else would you buy it?
Yeah, bright and candy-colored buttons.
Oh, I wanted another thing that showed up in Nintendo Power, another controller was the ASCII L5, which was the one-handed thing,
Oh yeah,
which was only in Japan. But
And they made one for
God,
the
I wanted
PlayStation,
one. Yeah,
too.
Yeah, it was a little bit different. It wasn't quite the same. Didn't have the same appeal.
okay.
It was for one-handed people, or was it for pros?
The pitch was you would play RPGs with it and then write maps with the other hand, because
boy.
you do a lot of map making in RPGs.
I know
for
I
the
did.
16-bit day. All right.
How do I get out of the mist cave?
I know these two really cute girls, and their sisters and their mom, when they were kids, made their Zelda maps for them.
That's
And
adorable.
they still have them.
I
And
bet.
it's so cute. Whenever I
Yeah.
go over to their house, I'm like, dude, I want to see your mom's Zelda maps. So I've like taken pictures of them before because they're so cool and they're so like carefully done. It's just really great.
That's heartwarming.
Yeah, it is.
Well, guys, I'm glad we could all agree that the Super Nintendo is awesome. I'm sure Jeremy also agrees. But thank you for joining me today. As it's my first Retronauts that I'm hosting, and hopefully not the last.
Here, here.
And if you don't like what I'm doing, then vote me off the island,
All
if
right.
that's possible.
Well,
Put down your hand.
I guess that means we should form an alliance. Sam,
Yeah.
and
You can't stop me. I've taken over Retronauts. But yeah, thanks a lot, guys, and hopefully
you.
we can join up again sometime.
Yeah, appreciate being on.
Sweet.
hooray.
Retro.
This week in Retronauts, are you bad enough dudes to rescue Ronnie?
I am, but I will not do it.
I
I'm a
am
conscientious objector.
I'm actually, as a dragon ninja, I personally oversaw the abduction of Ronnie.
Yeah. Are you a bad enough dude to piss on his eternal flame or whatever?
All right. I will urinate on his library.
Let's go out and get a burger.
Brilliant actor, though.
I'm satisfied. Let's keep going.
One of my
All right.
favorite political figures that co-starred with a chimp.
Clint Eastwood.
Yeah. We should elect him.
All right, yes. This is Retronauts, the Paul Harvey of game podcasts.
Are we going to hear the rest of the story?
No, but at the end I will say, good day. I am Ray Barnhold, guest hosting. Even though I work here and
I'm training
all the
you
time.
up.
Yeah. And yes, we are going to talk about some fun things today. But first of all, I'll introduce the people who are sitting around me. First of all, Jeremy Parrish.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Parrish.
You are sort of my boss, I guess, in a way.
I'm your supervisor. I don't know what that
Yeah,
means.
I guess that's a better
Like-
Assistant to the regional manager.
I walk around and pretend I care if you're working.
Yes. And Brandon Sheffield from Gama Sutra Game Developer Magazine, all those fun things.
Hello, that's me. That's who I am.
Yes. Getting ready for GDC next week, which should be a whole hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah,
be a-
except not for me,
Yes.
Why not?
because I'm going to be covering like every session and interviewing a bunch of dudes and working on a panel and also trying to ship a magazine.
So fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be. I remember
Well,
it was
glad
a-
you finally fit yourself into our schedule rather for this, and
Yes.
of course Scott Sharkey once again.
Yes, I'm sorry.
That's okay. This week we'll be talking about Data East,
Yay.
which was one of our favorite publishers. I thought first, let's just do a little bit of news, a little bit of retro news,
That's the way I like it.
as little as possibly huge this week, although did sort of fill out a list. First of all, we got Mega Man 10 came out this week, first for WiiWare.
And you
And,
gave it a straight up B, didn't you?
I did. Apparently, that's the worst score imaginable. I'm sorry.
B for buttocks.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jeremy, I do think it was a very fair review, and I
A
think
B for Bruce. My favorite Bruce mode.
I don't
sorry.
get it.
quite an inside joke.
Okay, so you can play as Proto Man from the start in this game
Right.
if you want, and Proto Man's name is Blues, and which site
I
is it?
see.
Andrea Singh, I think. Yeah, they keep reporting on Blues mode, but I guess they've never played a Mega Man game
So
before, so,
it's
they keep
Bruce
talking about
mode.
Bruce mode.
That's awesome.
And every time I see that, I'm just like, no one's corrected them. That's so awesome.
It's got to be a troll. You're just trolling everybody.
Once again, I love the Americanized cover art. Whoever is doing that on this side is brilliant.
I like that it incorporates so many elements that are actually in the game, and also many elements that are completely not in the game.
Yeah.
I'll certainly be playing Mega Man 10. I haven't been very weird about it ever since it was announced, and so it is one of those things where I do agree with your review, where it is just
Just
it's
another sequel.
just another Mega Man sequel. And
Was
so-
it that the problem to begin with?
Well, not
But now
after
it's
so
not
many
just
years.
another
yeah,
Mega Man spin-off. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we're glad to be going back to this.
Kind of, but I don't know. I mean, I will preface by saying that I really, really liked Mega Man 10. I had a lot of fun playing it. It's very challenging.
Yeah.
It plays perfectly. I mean, it's what you would want from an 8-bit Mega Man game.
Now, what did you score at Mega Man 9?
I didn't review it
Oh,
for one
okay.
up, but I would have given it an A had I
Okay.
reviewed it.
Just because the retro thing was newer then?
No,
And-
because the retro thing wasn't a gimmick in Mega Man 9. It was not. It was
Are you
not like.
sure?
Maybe it started out as a gimmick, but they put it to good use. They made a good application of the retro style.
Fair
I mean,
enough.
basically what they did was they said the game that people like most of all is Mega Man 2. So let us build a game around that structure. But the bosses they put together, the weapons they put together, they looked at all the things that subsequent Mega Man games after Mega Man 2 did horribly wrong and said, let's not do those things. Instead, let's react to those things. Let's create a game that responds to those things. Let us compensate for our failings and create a really, really intricately, tightly designed classic style Mega Man game informed by all the things we've learned in the past 15 years of game development. And they put together a masterpiece of video gaming that just happened to look like an 8-bit game, but there was a lot more sophistication than in any actual NES game.
Did they do the thing? I didn't actually finish Mega Man 9, but where you have one useless weapon that you will have to use at the end and preferably turns you white and gray?
They did not.
Ah.
The
Tradition
weapons
broken.
in Mega Man 9 were all pretty much useful throughout the game. It didn't
Those
have anything
fools.
like that stupid ball in Mega Man 8. I think that was one of the things they were reacting to. The stupid ball does make a return in Mega Man 10, but it's actually a little more useful this time.
Oh.
I like that.
Yeah. I don't know really what else to add because, like I said, I haven't played it yet, and I also feel weird about it, but I
Well,
will be playing it.
10 is interesting because the approach they took to level design is really different than in 9. In 9, it was like you had just this constant string of totally different challenges, and all the challenges were things that looked familiar, but then they worked in different ways. It was
Yeah.
like you had all these if you've played Mega Man for a long time, you had all these instincts that you built up and things that you just kind of, you know how things work. And then the things in Mega Man 9 didn't actually work like that. So you'd like think, oh, okay, I know what to do here, and just jump, and then you die because, they fooled you. And it was kind of clever, and it really made you kind of stop and reconsider how you're playing. Mega Man 10 doesn't have so much of that, but what happens is the level designs, they tend to be more like, each level has a key element, a key theme, and then that one theme is iterated on several times throughout the stage. But it does feel a bit less inventive than the 9's levels did.
Would you say it's easier? Despite easy mode, of course.
I would actually. I had more trouble playing this one, and I think it's because, especially toward the end of the game, the challenge stems from a different place. It's more like the kind of challenges you would see in like Mega Man X5, Mega Man X4, where there's a lot of pits, a lot of things designed to knock you into pits, a lot of big spike beds. They didn't do so much of that in Mega Man 9. I mean, there were some of those elements, but it feels like they were kind of falling back more on the 16, 32-bit style of Mega Man games, which also is a little bit of a disappointment to me. I realize that's where Into Creates kind of comes from, but I've played those games already. I don't need them in 8-bit style.
Yeah. Well, it is Mega Man, and it is basically good.
Yeah, it is. And
that's why it's got a B, I guess.
That's right.
Yeah.
Good. B means good.
Exactly.
Medium. And also there's a lot of DLC coming that looks pretty intriguing.
Oh, yes.
Like the
much more intriguing than the last games.
Yeah, I especially like the fact that I think there's going to be like 3 separate stages or three downloadable challenge stages or something, but it uses the Mega Man killers from
the Game Boy ones.
Yeah, which Game Boy game was that?
It was like the first ones. I think it was like the first
three. If you remember
3.
this, I'm impressed.
Yeah, it's Quint and I think Quint is the one who's not in
There's
it.
Anchor.
Anchor, that's right.
And then
they're all named after music.
Punk and Ballad.
And
Ballad.
ska.
That's right. No ska.
No, they didn't get that far. Believe it or not.
There is a bird named Reggae, isn't there?
No,
A cat.
cat named Tango.
A cat named Tango. But
Yeah, no, Reggae the bird was from Rockboard.
that's right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
We just out obscured you, Sharky.
Yeah, no, you did it. I was hoping you'd reference like the crappy PC games. No. They totally brought back Sharkman.
I saw
I've been
you
waiting
reel
my whole
back
life.
out of the corner of my eye. Just
Well,
like,
Shark games.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
I played like the first one, and then
I think it was in the
screw
second
this.
one. That's where I gave up.
where's Bitman from Mega Man 3 PC? I don't know. Yeah, Virtual Console, nothing. For Fatal Fury Special,
Yeah, but nothing last week. It was
no, absolutely nothing.
heartbreaking.
One of those lovely weeks, yeah.
Well, there was a Whatchajigger. It was one of those sort of modern NES cart dealies, kind of inspired by I Want to Be the Guy. What the hell was the name of this? You know what I'm talking
Oh, yeah, we
about.
mentioned this last week.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Battle Kid. Right?
Yeah, that's the
right,
one.
right. Actually, I have an order. I placed an order for that, and it should be coming along sometime soon. So
Awesome.
Let me
I
know when
will-
it comes in. I'm curious.
I will play Battle Kid, and I will write about it on Retronauts and talk about it on the podcast.
Nice.
And you're welcome to join me to play it along with me.
I've been thinking about.
Brandon, even you can come along and play if you want.
I'll do it. I've been thinking about getting it myself, but I don't own an NES, and I never have.
That can
You
be
could-
rectified fairly easily.
Probably
I'm
play it
sure
on
you
a classy Famiclone if you want.
I could do that. I do own.
You can also get one that'll also play Genesis games and Super Nintendo games.
Mine plays Super Nintendo, but the thing it doesn't do is display properly on a television. That kind of stuff.
So do you have to play by sound, kind of like Tommy?
It's like if you're
Oh,
if you're content
Oh no, that's sense
to
of smell. Sorry.
watch it as though it were a multiple times rented VHS, then you can
Yeah.
you can get through it.
or like watching porn on Cinemax through a scrambler.
Indeed.
Yeah,
I was almost going to make that joke, but well, I left it for you.
thanks.
There's some bad news, I suppose. The King's Quest fan games got.
Oh yeah,
Man, yesterday was
got
like Activision's
Activision-
day to crap the bed.
Yeah.
Yesterday and today.
Nobody really
Well,
likes
it all
Activision
started
right now.
yesterday.
I guess it did, didn't
Yeah,
it?
it's been a
they
cavalcade
started
of bullshit.
They started the day by shutting down the King's Quest fan game, and then they
Sent in goons.
decided to kill their cash cow too, or to squeeze it to death. I
Just
don't know.
another Monday.
I did like Tim Schafer's
was
comment
right.
on his Twitter though. Did
I didn't see it.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was something like, you can't be angry at them about this any more than you can a monkey throwing shit. This is just how they communicate.
Yeah.
You have to accept it.
So I guess the King's Quest thing is much more within the purview of Retronauts. What do you know about that?
I know some stuff.
Just the basics. Yeah.
They've been working on it since like 2002, I think. It was this semi-sequel sort of thing.
It was a spiritual sequel, and they had, so far as I understand, they had consent under Sierra/Vivendi to do this, and it is, by the way, meant to be free and episodic, and so there was not going to be any money generated from it, and it doesn't even have the words King's Quest in the title or anything like that, but it does use characters and concepts and things like that. And I guess at a certain point, Activision realized it was really going to happen, or it just appeared on their radar after Activision, got the whole Vivendi Universal thing, and they're like, "Oh, no, we don't want that." So the end. Yeah, I mean,
It's something they probably actually could fight in court if they could afford it, and I'm sure they can't.
Yeah.
So
pretty lame, I think, because who the hell is that going to hurt? Except for people that want to play that game and the guys that made it.
if it's like a matter of public image for Activision at this point, they're like so far into, I don't know, like if they had like a renegade Paragon meter or whatever, they bottomed out the red line on that. So fuck it, they have nothing to lose anymore.
Yeah.
Forget red. They're somewhere in brown.
Yeah, I normally don't have much sympathy for people who create fan games and then get shut down by, like, oh, we were going to remake Chrono Trigger in 3D.
But they have been kind of given explicit
But in this case,
consent
this is
before.
different. They had been given consent, and I feel like that should, kind of grandfather in, regardless of who actually owns Vivendi Universal.
As far as I know, when it comes to trademark or something, if you actually are given even just sort of tacit consent, that counts. But this was explicit, and as far as I know, that actually does carry. It's just who the hell is going to be able to fight that?
I mean, I guess they could just
EFF?
They could just switch all their just release it as
Rosella is now Rosie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we'll have a little patch that somebody mysteriously came out with that'll switch everything back.
Yeah, there you go.
We might even link to that.
It can be like Deadly Premonition to Twin Peaks.
This is the second time Deadly Premonition has come up today.
Deadly Premonition is the greatest game.
Apparently, it is the hotness.
It's so good.
Right. Well, as a sort of tangential bright side to this, I mean, you do have King's Quest 4, 5, and 6 on GOG right now, goodoldgames.com. So
That's something.
except that everybody hates Activision right now.
Yeah,
so,
we don't want a single fucking penny going.
We
there
should pirate
at
it
the moment.
instead.
Yeah.
Durr.
That'll work.
Isn't that the proper internet response?
Yeah,
Well,
it
yes.
is. It is.
That's very well.
Well, we'll use our ethical high ground here to justify things we wanted to do anyway.
Yay.
I just want to make one little note about Final Fantasy 1 and 2 on iPhone. I'm
That
not
it
sure if
passed?
anybody's actually bought any of them.
I have not.
It is, and
But the battles have like touch buttons, like
Yeah.
icon buttons and stuff like that.
apparently killing a mob of 4 goblins requires 8 button presses. That seems like I read Danny Cowan's review over at Finger Gaming, and
So it's
he
like
basically
fight,
said
target, fight, target, fight, target, fight,
Right.
target. Like,
Oh.
it's, but you have to like press which character is going to attack and then which enemy you're going to attack.
really?
It sounds really tedious. He said, like that kind of ruins the game when it takes so long just to fight through a random mob.
And if we're talking about
weak
Final
characters.
Fantasy 1, then this is
it's grindy.
significant. You have to buy all your health
Although I'm
potions
sure that
individually.
with Final Fantasy 2, it's very fun to press your characters to target them to attack to build their hit points. But the novelty of that, I don't know if that's worth $8, $9. But what was
I don't know. I was just gonna say I was sort of weirdly tempted to get at least Final Fantasy 2 because it's like playing Final Fantasy 2. You feel like I should do it just to get like a better understanding. It's like, oh, maybe one of these years I will read the Satanic Verses. Maybe one of these years I will play Final Fantasy 2. So I don't know. But yeah, hearing those. Hearing more details about the controls like that, I don't know.
You could probably get the PSP Anniversary Editions for not much
That's
more
the
than
thing.
the iPhone
That's the
game is
thing. It's like
selling now.
I was more interested in this iPhone version because I was kind of waiting for the PSP version to show up for download, but that hasn't happened.
I'm just gonna play it on my Pandora when the Pandora finally comes out.
All right, and then you can download it for your Phantom and
Your Pippin?
or your Indrima.
Yeah, actually, I did play through Final Fantasy II a few years ago when the Anniversary Edition came out, and I reviewed it. And it's a really weird, broken game in many ways, but at the same time, it is really interesting because, like, looking back at the context of when it was released, it really was a forward-thinking RPG. It wasn't balanced well. They were thinking forward, and they kind of forgot to take into account all the things between here and way far forward.
Yeah.
So it's a mess of a game.
Yes, but apparently
it's a
the forward they
fascinating mess.
wanted was Saga games. So
Right, that's kind of where it ended up. But it's funny because a couple of weeks ago I interviewed Yoshinori Kitase, the current producer of the Final Fantasy series, and asked him about all the past Final Fantasy games, and he said with Final Fantasy II he didn't play it the way it was intended. Like everyone else, he would beat up his own party members to raise his levels. So when even the staff of Final Fantasy plays the game the wrong way, something's up.
Yeah.
Or it's the right way.
Maybe it is.
Yeah, the whole thing just boggles me. It's like, this was Final Fantasy II. This came out after the first one. It's like, I can't even imagine what it would have been like.
I don't know. I think they should combine this with the more modern Final Fantasies. I think beating up your own party members is something I'm really strongly motivated to do in most cases.
Well,
Yeah, I would
there
do that
was-
in 10 especially.
I was
was-
whipped the shit out of Squall, so I should get something for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was an element of that in Final
Oh,
if you
right.
so chose to do that.
You can sit there and throw rocks at each
Right.
other all damn day.
Which
Yeah.
is fun until you accidentally knock someone off a cliff and they die, and you're damn it.
But yeah. Finally, this is sort of a retro compilation coming out. Nintendo's coming out with 100 classic books later this year for DS, and so
What?
Those are all public domain books, right? They're all like
Pretty much.
previous,
So it's like a
prior to
Gutenberg cart for
1900.
your DS.
yes, exactly, Sharky. Yeah, pretty
Fantastic.
much. Yeah.
But on the DSi XL, it's really big. It's low resolution still, but it's very big.
And it's technically 2 pages. I mean, I'm one of those weird people who really just wants like a 2-page e-reader, even though it really makes no practical sense. I just want that, so I'll probably buy that.
So what it lacks
Sympathetic.
in Kindle's resolution and ease of ease on your eyes, it more than makes up for, and the fact that it mimics the actual shape of a book.
I'm gonna have to say so. Yeah.
There's another.
Probably true for a lot of people, actually.
Also, they're making a little module that you can plug in that makes it smell like old paper.
Oh yes.
Nice.
I think that's
time
also
release sort of
that's
thing.
probably also just like the brown one smells like a humidor or something.
I would pay for that.
There is another retro compilation out this week, I think, and that is the Sonic DS collection.
Oh yeah, Sonic Classic Collection for DS. 4 games.
I think we get in trouble anytime we mention Sonic on Retronauts.
Or Sega. Or
But I mean, you have to look at how they're treating this compilation. By all accounts, it looks absolutely dreadful. If Sega fans don't want us to crap on the Sonic games, Sega has got to do better things with Sonic.
Wait,
Well, I think
you
people are
get-
going to buy it just to protest for, aren't they?
Oh, that's true. How dare they? Let's give them money in a different avenue.
yeah.
Do you get in trouble for saying that Sega's doing bad things? Because I can't imagine anything else that Sega's doing right now. They seem to only be doing the wrong thing.
That's just like your opinion, man.
Yeah, I guess. Except for, I think it's actually like factual business sense when you talk about moving Resonance of Fate to a
the
week after Final Fantasy 13. That is
Well, I'll tell you what. I
that's
like.
objective.
I like. It's a good game. I have a lot of fun with it. Still.
I like
so.
that Richard Jakes makes music still.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, Sonic's Racing, whatever, that's the one that has Ryo Hazuki in a
Forklift?
as a racer.
That's right.
Yeah.
As
That's
his special
fantastic.
name.
I
Yeah,
love
that's some
that.
clever stuff.
yeah, I mean, even if they've pretty much crapped on the Shenmue series, you have to admire the fact that they're
There's
dredging
some
it
other-
up for that.
Yeah, there's some other good guest characters in there too.
Can you
They-
race as the nurse from Planet Harriers with a giant syringe?
No,
Oh, Sega, you let me down.
but here's the thing: you can play as the Bonanza Brothers in like this
Wow.
nice black sedan,
Huh.
and Opa Opa is one of them. Just
Oh,
Opa
I love the little
Opa.
bastard.
Yeah, he's kind of annoying to play as though because his animations are all kind of wonky and whatever.
The little wings going around.
Alice Kidd is actually one of the better racers in my opinion. I play as him.
I'm
a lot,
glad that
so-
something has finally redeemed Alex. Kidd.
Does he look
Exactly.
like a mutant elf?
No, he actually looks a lot better than he did in the tennis game. That's for sure. So. Yeah, that was a weird tangent. We were talking about Sonic Classic Collection, which is just.
Said it's fine.
Hey, it's news, right? It's something.
News.
I just wanted to acknowledge its existence because someone might be interested.
True.
Crickets. All right, let's not waste any more time. Let's just go right ahead and talk about Data East.
Yay, data.
Yeah.
You know, I beat Karnov on NES
What?
Yeah.
as proof
Is that possible?
It is. I've seen a guy on
had
YouTube do it.
too much damn free time when I was a
Yeah.
kid, and I was willing to tackle any game, no matter how ridiculous.
Well, we can talk plenty about Karnov and Chelnov and all those things. But
Chelnov. Was it Atomic Runner
Yeah,
Chelnov?
exactly.
Yeah.
Let's running.
Apparently that's a lucrative franchise.
I like it a lot. But yes, in the beginning, Data East. It was founded in 1976, was
76?
it?
Yes.
As DACO, which is an acronym for something I forgot.
It's an acronym for Data East, whatever kind of corporation they are. So
That was my guess.
Deco was their that was like their stock trading name, I believe.
Oh, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
DECO.
And yeah,
And they were doing arcade machines or something.
They were making arcade components. They were trying to like
do like a tape transfer interchangeable arcade cabinets.
yeah,
or
the
whatever.
DACO cassette system was
Yeah.
one of those cool little things where it was
That
just like
didn't work and it never caught on.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's clever on paper, but yeah, in practice probably didn't work out too well.
And they invented the Art Deco painting style.
True, false, true.
False. I'm sorry.
Ah.
I'd like to call a friend to pick me up right now. But yes, that was their humble beginnings
And yeah.
their humble middle and humble end.
I don't know about this tape system thing though. What is that exactly?
It was basically what it sounds like. It was like a cassette drive functioning as an arcade game.
It was sort of like an MVS in a way because everything was
Yeah.
previously was just specific
But it
jam
all
boards.
ran off tape cassettes.
So
Yeah.
they want it was just interchangeable games with cassettes.
It was like
So
Neo
the-
Geo with audio tapes.
Right, the
Yeah.
flexibility of Neo Geo with the horribleness of Coleco Atom.
Yeah, and the MVS didn't exist yet, so
Right.
Yeah. No, it was a very forward-thinking idea. Well, do you remember like Journey Escape?
Yeah, I was gonna say that was what came to mind.
The other mainstream arcade cabinet I could think of that actually incorporated a tape cassette in any capacity, and yes, that thing wore out in like 3 seconds.
yeah.
You know,
yay.
they never held up. So this is actually where you're pulling the data for your game from. It's not going to last.
Yeah.
And
Plus, you had
it
to
didn't
boot
work
the
out.
machines. You had to wait for them to boot.
Yeah.
For the DACO ones.
So neat idea.
And
but-
Namco had trademarked the ability to play mini games while you were waiting for a load screen. So
Oh, right.
Oh right.
Curse
Well, that
Oh,
was
wait. No.
You know, I think
Later,
as a
but-
as a side
Okay,
tangent
sorry.
that was later, but has that been lifted? Because I've seen a couple games now, like One
I think they just
Chambara
realized
has it now.
it's indefensible.
yeah, or it could be that people looked at the trademark and said, well, or the patent or whatever, and said, like
There's a
this is
loophole here.
how the
We-
patent is described.
Yeah.
we can
Right.
do the same thing in a different way.
Right.
Also, it's very easy to point at prior art. It